Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Morning Coffees with James. I'm James, and this show you're watching on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and hopefully other way. Ooh, Jesus. Yeah, and that's how bad my hair's looking. It's not balding, it's just thinning. I don't care. You know what? I don't give a shit. Happy Memorial Day, everybody. God bless America. Thank you for all those troops out there who served and everything like that. Today I'm gonna do two videos today. So one of them's gonna be a very nerdy one, but this one's kind of serious. Happy Memorial Day to everyone who served, who's made this country as free as humanly possible, who's sacrificed their lives, who's served, who sacrificed, who's fought in all those wars long ago. From World War I to the Civil, let's start from the Revolutionary to the Civil, to the First World War, to the Second World War, to Vietnam, to Korea, let me change that, to Korea, to Vietnam, to the Gulf, all of them. So, thank you for serving our country. Thank you. Shout out to my uncles who've served in the Army, the Marines, to my cousins who served in the Marines, the Air Force. I'm trying to think if I have any ones that served in the Navy, but I'm not sure about that one. To my other uncles from my mom's side who served in the military too, in the Marines. To my friends who served in the Army and the Marines and everything else. So thank you guys. So there's a topic I want to talk about today, if it's okay with you. Apparently there was and this is something that scares me a little bit. There is a petition, there was a video somebody made about somebody doing a fake petition to basically cancel Memorial Day, to just get rid of the holiday. And I did not see the video, but I can imagine how my shock would be that people would sign something like that. Or don't, and this is the thing that's really bothered me about this thing. What's really been bothering me, and a lot of people are not taking this seriously, this communistic threat to America. And I'm not talking about China, which, by the way, is a threat. And don't give me this "you're racist" thing bullshit. I'm not angry at the Chinese people, but towards the CCP. There's a difference between being angry towards the people and then China. You can hate Chinese people. You can find them disturbing, but that's just wrong. Or whatever. I'm not promoting Asian hate whatsoever. But there seems to be a lot of that in this country, and I think it's geared towards, people say it's, geared towards the whole CCP thing, and I have to say it's true. I mean, there are people out there who blame Chinese people for what's going on in, communist, China, but it's not the people who live here. The people who live here escaped that, who wanted, they wanted to be here. They wanted to be in the land of the free. So it's not their fault. And also the fact that you have Antifa beating up people who look like Annie, who is Asian, and anybody who's Asian and happens to be a journalist, it gets attacked. So it's there is this Asian hate, and there is Asian hate, there's also black hate, there's a lot of hate going on. But the thing I'm more worried about is the fact that we're kind of losing our united, basically what makes us united, you know what I mean? Memorial Day is not just the kickoff to summer, which, by the way, happy summer. But it's a reminder to everybody that we need to be, on guard here. Dang it. All right, it's gonna be up there. I'm gonna leave it as it is. I didn't want to put a nail through there's a hole through there, but I didn't want to put a hole through the other one, so deal with that. At least I'm not putting a hole through it. The problem I see with this is this is the thing that's getting me, again, with the CCP thing. We have communists here. I mean, minus Antifa, but there's a memorial down the where I live, and it's supposed to be this unite symbol, the leftist kind of propaganda kind of thing. And I want people to look at this. Look at Black Lives Matter's fist. Look at Antifa's fist. Look at, the United Fist. Anytime you see a left fist like this, ask yourself, and I mean this too, just sit down, have a conversation with it. Why is it a left hand? Why is it a left hand rather than a right hand? And I'm not saying it's political or anything like that. Look at the communistic fist. Look at Nazi Germany. All socialists do the left hand. And it also, like, I'm not sure if this is true or not. You might have to correct me on this, but there has to be some kind of connection to Satanism there. The Satanistic left hand or anything like that. Not picking on anybody who's left-handed. Good for you. You can be ambidextrous. I'm mostly looking at, like, the propaganda of this, the optics. Like, yes, the thing down the street from me it's very multicolored, and it's not just pure black, but pure red. It's left-handed, but it talks about things that are good. Unity, coming together, integration, everything. But there's something fishy about it, and something that's just kind of keeping me alert. And I know people out there, it's like, oh, you're racist against, no. I'm not talking about race here. I'm talking about patriotism. I'm talking about our home. And I know people out there, it's like, are screaming that America's never been great. We're not that free, blah, 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 blah. Well, I'm sorry you don't own private property, and I'm sorry you haven't taken advantage of this country's, rich, freedom. And also not getting involved with politics. And I know politics is cancer of the soul, but to tell you the truth, if we let these people do whatever the fuck they want, and I'm talking about the politicians, I'm not talking about these people, but the politicians who are promoting violence towards Americans, promoting violence towards anybody who's speaking out against the nonsensical authoritarianism of what these governors and politicians are doing, and you know which side they're on, right? And yes, there are some of the rhinos. Anytime I mention, and this has always been the funny part, anytime I mention anything on the left, any of the Democrats, any of the liberals, the phony liberals, not the classic liberals, not the people who say live and let live, and live and let be, it's the let me control your life thing. Oh, this mass shooter who was crazy, drugged up, from, who immigrated here from who God knows where. He's not the problem. It's the gun. He got a hell of a gun and shot people. And it's like, I blame your governors for that one. You blame good law-abiding citizens, and yet you want to take away their freedom. It's, how would you feel if I said that marijuana was the devil's lettuce, and I demanded all marijuana being banned? Or but your alcohol. Everybody's alcohol. I mean, there's millions of people getting hit by cars by drunk drivers every day, yet, we don't ban alcohol. We did that in Prohibition. Same thing with guns. Black market. And also, I'm one of those Americans who wants to legalize fully automatic weapons again. Decriminalize them. I don't want to buy an MP5 and have it just be, semi-auto. Alright? And then again, I'm not... I know also if it makes you feel better, I'd rather have people have licenses to carry fully automatic weapons or own fully automatic weapons. I'm okay with Americans owning Burst because Burst is not fully auto. You have to pull the trigger every time, and it shoots 3 bullets at a time. So, if I'm wrong about that, please correct me. But it's just, this is the thing I'm too worried about, too, as Americans. It's that we're kind of letting, again, back to the point at hand, we're letting this communistic nonsense take over our country. Socialism and all this stuff, socialized governments and stuff like that. No, it's like, it's communism wrapped up in a different name. And also the getting rid of a Memorial Day. That's American. That is our America right there. That is, like, why we celebrate America. Like, as much as you don't like the whole, traditions of America and stuff like that, and the whole this, and it's like, oh, it's racist. It's like, what about the black troops that served? What about the Latino troops that served? What about, because again, not only the white, but the Asian. What about the Americans that served? This is not just, the kickoff to summer. And it is necessary to have this because, one, it's a privilege to have a 3-day weekend. I'm actually happy that I had a 3-day weekend. And thanks to the men and women who served this country fighting in our foreign wars. Yes, you can talk about, we're not talking about the conspiracy theory, and we're not talking about the military industrial complex right about now. We're talking about an American holiday that needs to be here. That is American. That, and it scares me that there's people would sign a petition to get rid of this holiday. And I feel like we have lost the and I agree with my friend Jake here that we need to reinstate a mandatory 2-year draft into the military. Just serve 2 years and that's it. So in that sense, it's that we need to. Sorry, my knee's been bothering me. It's getting better. I don't care if I'm 33 years old. But we need to reinstate, that's how I feel about it. And I would be okay with it. To tell you the truth, I wouldn't mind getting it. Because it's not just about people needing discipline, but needing a backbone as well. They need somebody to say, pick yourself up, You're not weak, get up. It's not just for the people who are weak. It's not for the people who are strong and undisciplined, who do whatever they want. It's for the people who need, motivation. They need that, drive, you know what I mean? To give them a backbone. I feel like that's the problem. They need a sense of purpose. They need a sense of, duty. That's all I see about that. There's people out there who just don't like America, and it's I tried fighting with them, don't go to Africa or don't go to these countries that you think you might be accepted, because there are some things that they don't tell you in the fine print. It's, it bugs the shit out of me that we're allowing this kind of shit to happen. Communism is a real threat to this day. It's from China, and look at the movies that are being made. Look at the movies that are being censored. Look at the how they're marketing it to China. And every time they make something for China, they have to keep censoring it. I'm still waiting for that one movie to be made for, a propaganda piece for Chinese government, for the CCP, and again, for their government, their country that promotes communism. And it's kind of bothering. It's bothersome because nobody cares. People go to the race thing. And it's oh, you don't like Asian people. It's no. First of all, it came from Wuhan. It came from the country of China. It was made in a lab. And yes, I'll even go a little deep further and say that it was made in a lab and it was funded by the United States. And Dr. Fauci was the head of it. And I don't care what anybody says. Oh, you're not allowed to spout that information. And it's well, fuck you. Because you've been censoring people so much, and that you love to censor things. You know what? Fuck you. Fuck you. I can be a patriot all day long. I'm fighting, I'm just a dude in his robe talking to people. On his camera. On his phone. But I try to speak up and say shit. I'm just another meme machine. I'm just another information gatherer. I'm just another conduit to things I hear and try to spout to my group of people. You know what I mean? My fan base. The people who find me interesting. And I find you interesting. There's people out there that I look to that inspire me to be better. There's people out there who inspire me to be a good person, to look at life differently. But, but if we allow this kind of our freedoms to be taken away, we're not going to be able to fight back. And no, Joe Biden, the AR-15 is not an assault weapon. It is not a fully automatic weapon. It's a single-shot weapon. And by the way, for anybody who says this, AR doesn't stand for assault rifle. It stands for armament, armament light, I think it is. I own a Smith & Wesson version of it. Do you know what it's called? The SW-15. No, it doesn't stand for swift weapon. No, it stands for Smith & Wesson. The AR is just more popular, and it has a name that could associate to assault. Okay, I think I've gone far enough and stopped and lost my topic here. But happy Memorial Day to all you veterans who fought our wars and made our country free. And happy Memorial Day to everybody. Peace Love you, and bye-bye. God bless.